Yeah, welcome to the first workshop in the teacher training program. And today, as you can see, we're talking about classroom management, okay? And of course, this is something that you always think about. How can I manage my classroom? And what is included in this? Hello? Guys, just go. Okay, so what do you think we're going to talk about today? If we're talking about classroom management, what do you think are the topics inside this? Pairs, okay. Speak up.
Set of rules.
Rules, good. What do you think we're talking about today?
Structures.
Okay.
How to manage the students.
Speak up.
How to manage the students.
Okay, of course. All right, so before we start, let's play a game. Good. This game is called the emoji game. So you have to pick up your phone, go to WhatsApp, in chat, and then use the emojis to write down your name. So for example, this is my name using emojis. Okay? So what's the first emoji? What is it? What's the first letter of the monkey? That's M. Then A, man. Then goose. So G. Good. Magd. And then Yat. Magdy. Can you do that? So all the emojis, just the first letter of your name. Okay, then you talk together and try to guess each other name if you don't know the person. That's why I asked you don't sit beside each other. Still, you can play the game. Can you do that? Okay guys, then each two talk together and try to figure out your name. And only you have to ask one question if you can't guess the thing. So you can say, what's that? He can help you and say, that's Yat. So you get to know which first letter is that, okay? So talk together, guess each other's names. See if you did it correct. Okay guys, thank you. So, when we think about the classroom management, hopefully now we know each other's name. And this is called an icebreaking. These games you can play with your students at the beginning of a session. Especially if it was the first session of the year, at the end of the year. Or also you can play with your students during the coursework. So you get them to be more engaged and to kill the boredom of the session. Okay? So when you think about the classroom management, imagine yourself standing in front of this number or even more. How can you manage huge number inside a classroom? I think the first thing you can think about is doing that. Yeah. Good, very well. My bad.
بصوا بقى اذا كان على الزعيق والفتوانه فانا اصلا من عابدين. يعني مش عشان لبست بدله وجرافته بقيت مستر، لا ده انا جايبها من تحت قوي. يعني الشويتين بتوعكوا دول مش هياكلوا معايا ولا هيتوني.
Do you do that? Is it a good way of managing the classroom? No. Sometimes. Yes, especially at national secondary school, right? Good. So these are the topics of today's session. So mainly the first thing we're going to talk about is some classroom management terminology, which is very important. If you get to know these terminologies, this is going to be your basics. These are the basics of your teaching. So when you hear these terminology afterwards, they are going to be easy for you. The problem with our graduates is that sometimes they lack knowledge, and sometimes they lack the practice. So they don't know and they can't do. So by the end of this workshops, at least now you know, because there is not going to be like much practice really. You're not going to be doing some demos or teaching practices, right? Because of the time. So you only take some inputs from me. So at least now by the end of these workshops, you know. At least you know. At least you know the terminology. Alright? Then we're going to talk about how to keep your instructions short and simple. This is called the KISS rule. Keep instructions simple and specific or short. Then, how to check your instructions. So you give your students the instructions. How to check that they got the instruction. Do that, do that, do that. Did they really get it, or they're going to ask you, please, mister, what should we do? So you have to check your instructions after you tell your students the instructions. Good? Then, different classroom interaction patterns. Who's talking to whom inside the session in each activity? It's also very important. Then the purpose of pair work and group work. Do you always teach them? Is it one-way session? Are you the only one talking in the session? Or you're doing some pair and group work? And why doing this is important? You have to think about that. Again, how to monitor your students purposely. Who knows what's the meaning of monitor? We're good to know that. We're going to know that. So how to seat your students purposely, with a purpose. So I set you in this way because I have a purpose. And you'll get to know my purpose. I left a blank bench for a purpose. So I did something I want you to start doing when you start teaching. I'll show you an example of classroom management. So I manage your seats before you sit down because I'm going to do something. Okay? How to organize the whiteboard. And also this is very important because I have seen a lot of teachers writing like that. And it's not only about your handwriting, is it good or bad? It's about how should you organize. Where should I put the vocabulary? Where should I put the grammar? Okay, this is also something you need to think about. And the last thing, we're going to have some questions and answers. Okay? So this is what we're going to do today. And I hope this meets your expectations. So let's move to the first one, which is the classroom terminology. Here on the projector, I have some terminologies. I need you in pairs to discuss which ones you already know. Okay? So try to do some guesses. So each two, you do this, these guys, and this is the group of three. Okay? You two, you two, you two, you two. Okay? These, you two, you three, one group. So a group of three, and each, a group of three, you two, you two. Start thinking, what do you really know about these terminologies? Do you know much? Wait, so start discussing. Hey guys, can start discussion? Again, discuss what you already know about them. All right. Okay. Thank you. So I've seen some of you talking, and I've heard some of you saying correct things. So who knows what CCQs stand for? Yes, please speak up.
Concept checking question.
Say it again.
Concept checking question.
Yeah. Concept checking questions. What are they about?
It's basically if you want to ask students, or if you want to teach your students in a grammatical lesson, you ask them indirectly the form of the grammatical meaning.
The meaning.
So for example, if you say, I'll ask you, what did you take yesterday, or what did you eat yesterday? Like basically a example of what the lesson is going to be.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It is to some extent correct. Okay. Okay, so CCQ stands for concept checking questions. Good. Let's have a look at all of them. TTT stands for teacher talking time. How much talking do you do inside the classroom? Think about that. Are you only talking or they are talking? Guys, I can send you this. If you are worried about the PowerPoint, I can send you this on the WhatsApp group. Okay? Let's start with CCQs. These are called concept checking questions. You use them when you check the meaning of anything. It can be the meaning of a word, or also it can be the meaning of a grammatical structure, like what you said. So for example, if we're discussing the meaning of, give me a word. Confused. Good. So I need to ask the students some questions in case they didn't get the meaning of this word. First of all, maybe I'm going to show them a picture of somebody doing like this. And then the picture is not enough. They didn't get the meaning yet. So I want them to get the meaning through asking them yes or no questions. They are always yes or no questions. You don't ask them which questions, like what we said. So you can ask them a question about the word confused. Is he sure about it? What are they going to say? Is he sure about it? You say no. Okay. Is he still thinking about doing this action? Okay. Is he still confused? So now you got the meaning of the word through asking students questions. Can I ask them a question like this? Confused. So what is he doing? Is it a good CCQ? Yes or no? What is he doing in this picture? Is it a good CCQ? So you only ask yes or no questions or one word question. Is he happy or sad? Sad. Is he satisfied? Yes. And so on. Okay? So yes or no questions or at least one word question to check the meaning. Let me give you an example of a grammatical structure. Okay? He traveled to Alexandria. He traveled to Alexandria. Is he here now? Guys, speak up. Is he here now? No. If this happened in the past? Yes. Good. Can you see any result in present? Is it happened and finished? Yes. Now you clarify the meaning of the past simple through some CCQs. You always have, it's a must. You must ask these questions in case you are checking the meaning of a word or a grammatical structure. And by the way, we're not reinventing the wheel. There is a book called Concept Checking and Timelines. Concept Checking and Timelines. I can send you that on the WhatsApp group. Inside this book, you can find already made CCQs for the grammar. So if today you're teaching past simple, you just go for the page of past simple. You're going to find an example and some CCQs. You can take these CCQs and regenerate them according to the pure sentence. So if the sentence in the book is he traveled to Moscow, you can take it and change the question to he traveled to Alexandria. So is he in Moscow now? You can change it, is he in Alexandria now? So you can adapt it to your question. Okay? This is CCQs. What about it's 12 ICQs? Stands for ICQs. The fourth one, yes. So it is the same concept, but then you're not checking the meaning, you're checking the instructions. Let me give you an example. Word in pairs, in 4 minutes, you have 10 pictures, 5 words. Match them. These are my instructions. Good. So are you matching each picture with each word? Yes or no? 5 pictures, 10 words. Are you matching all pictures with all words? Do you have extra words? Good. How many minutes do you have? I checked the instructions. I left them no space to ask me, excuse me teacher, what time do we have? Excuse me teacher, are we working alone or in pairs? Teacher, we have extra words, what should we do? So sometimes when you give your instructions to the students, they keep asking you questions. And you feel good, they are so stupid. I have to repeat my instructions again and again and again. This is, by the way, this is your own mistake. You did not check your questions after you said your instructions. You did not check your instructions. Okay? Always think about that. Check your instructions. And again, checking your instructions has to be yes or no questions. So, guys, in pairs, 10 words, 5 pictures, match them in 3 minutes. What are you going to do? Is it a good ICQ? What are you going to do? Is it a good ICQ? Yes or no? No. You have to retell me everything again. No. It has to be yes or no questions. Are you working alone or in pairs? Said one word. Pairs. How many minutes do you have? 1 word. Do we have extra words? Yes, 1 word. That's a good ICQ. Did you get it? So checking the instructions, checking the meaning. ICQs and CCQs. TTT and STT. I know the traditional way of teaching always has been the teacher talking all the time. And sometimes you think you are the main source of information. You are the only source of information. Are you really the only source of information? Yeah. Have I been talking till now alone, or did I engage you in my speech? And by the way, this is not the only engagement. You can see some engagement. But don't just keep talking all the time. And this is for your own benefit, because sometimes if you're working in a school, you have 5 classes, 6 classes. So if you get talking all the time, by the end of the day, you're dead, right? Exhausted, you're dead. So when you don't talk much, when you increase your TTT, when you decrease your TTT, you increase the talking time. And there is also QTT, which is quality talking time. What is the quality talking time? If I'm giving you the instructions, is it TTT? If I'm taking feedback from you, is it TTT? Now I'm talking, but is it TTT? It's QTT, it's a quality talking time. Yes, I'm talking, but I'm talking for a purpose. So if the QTT and the STT in the classroom are high, you're doing a great job. If your TTT is high, now that's a problem. Okay? So how to increase your STT and decrease your TTT? What do you think? Speak up, please. How can you add QTT in the class? Yeah, guys, the question is, I want to speak less and I want the students to speak more. How can I do that? Thank you. Take again. Classes. Good. What else? Speak up, I can't hear you.
Think out of the box to create
How?
create games.
Like the game we played at the beginning of the session, right? It was engaging. You were talking to get the needs of each other. I was not talking. Good. What else?
We have unique explanations. Give them a word and let them think for it or its meaning.
So it is related to what we had said, tasks, presentations. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There is something that can really reduce your TTD, which is think about your instructions. Think about your instructions. Are you giving your students lengthy instructions? Or are they short instructions? What did I say when I gave them the instructions? In pairs, 3 minutes, match the 5 pictures to the 10 words. Is it short? Is it specific? What about eliciting? So I have a picture of someone who is confused. I can just say, okay guys, let's look. This is a picture of a man. He is confused. Repeat after me. Confused. 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 That's it on the board. Did I really elicit the word from the students? Good. Now I presented the picture. Nothing is written. Okay guys, how does he look in this picture? Let's imagine a picture of somebody who knows.
Yes.
Yeah. How does he look? Is he happy? Is he sad? He's not, but is he thinking about something?
Yes.
Is he sure about it? No. Good. Is he confused? This is the elicitation. Right? I ask him questions, and he gave me answers about the picture. So I don't just give them the piece of information. I'm not spoon-feeding them. I'm asking them. So whatever thing I'm doing, ask your students, elicit the information from them. This is the meaning of eliciting. I'm taking the piece of information from my students. I don't just say it. You always have to do that. Elicit. So talk less, elicit more. Okay? Is it easy for now? Yes. Demonstration. Let's read it together. To do the first item of a task with the students to facilitate understanding, especially with elementary students. Do you know the meaning of elementary? Are they strong or weak students? Elementary students. A1, weak, very weak students. They cannot speak English properly yet. Good. So I have 5 pictures, 10 words. I want them to match. What should I do as a teacher? Demonstrate. So let's answer the first one together. So confused. Which picture? Is it A or B or C? A. Good. So I match the first exercise with them, with the students. Don't just say, okay guys, confused. Which one? It's A. You didn't demonstrate. You just answered the first one. Okay? So I have 5 pictures, 10 words. Confused. Which one is that, guys? What do you think? A or B? A. Good. So I have to match. Good. So I did the first exercise. This is demonstration. So should we do this with fluent speakers like C1? Like very advanced speakers of English? Should you always do that? Yes or no? No. Only with the complex tasks. If the task includes a lot of things inside. But if they are very like elementary students, always demonstrate the first task. Okay? So that you make it easy. By the way, you can feel what happens if you don't. You just give them the exercise, you just look to each other and say, what can I do? Right? So let me ask you a question. If I demonstrated, should I also ask ICQs? What do you think? If I demonstrated the first task, I did an example with the students, should I also ask them ICQs? That's on the level. Depends on the level. That's a good answer. But imagine I'm doing a match activity. Okay, in pairs, 3 minutes, match the 5 pictures with the 10 words. Or maybe we have 5 pictures and 5 words. Okay, just get rid of this 10 now because it's confusing. 5 pictures, 5 words. I want you to match them. So I matched the first one. Do I have to ask them, are we matching or completing? Are we matching words with pictures? This is very simple. They know. They have seen that. Good. Pace. What's the pace? The pace. Speak up. The speed of this. Good. So I have vocabulary, I have grammar, I have speaking. The vocabulary should take 10 minutes. The speaking should take 10 minutes. The grammar should take 20 minutes. Smart German. Time. Thank you. So I always look at my clock and I see them. Well, I have to finish now because if I took 5 minutes, I will take the time from the grammar. So you have to keep the pace correct. If it will only take 10 minutes to the vocabulary, it won't take 12. It will destroy your next task. Keep your pace. Yes, exactly. What's echoing? We know the meaning of echo? Like I say, ah. That's echo. Okay, just go for YouTube and watch any secondary school teacher. And maybe if this is a real like classroom, he's interacting with the students. He's not only talking to the camera. And see what happens when we ask them questions. So what picture is that? Say confused. Confused. Very good. So should we work in pairs or alone? Should we work in pairs or alone? Pairs. Very good. See, I'm repeating every single word they say. This, what does it do with the TTT? Right? Takes it hard. The students are answering and I always repeat them. But I'm waiting for a question. Shouldn't I do this to confirm, like, Noor gave me an answer and they couldn't speak? I have to repeat it because they wanted to speak, right? What picture is that? It's very confusing. Did you get it? Did you get it? No. So I think deep inside me as a teacher, I think because she didn't hear the word, I should repeat it. So she said confused. Confused. Thank you. No, you don't do that. So she said the words and her voice was, what should I do? Yes. Again? That's it. Speaker. But what should I also do when the student gives me like a good answer? Should I repeat it again? He goes to school. Is it the past simple or the present continuous? He goes to school. Is it the past simple or the present simple? The present simple. Just say it. Just not. Don't speak. Because when you speak a lot, you exhausted, your PTT is like that, and your density is like that. And by the way, I know my PTT is higher because I'm giving it. But let's do something together.